Hello and welcome to a new instalment of On the Sofa With, and today we have Davey Henderson from Police Scotland and Federation Pipe Band. Welcome, Davey. How's it going?
Thanks very much. Yeah, good. Thanks yourself.
So, it's for those who don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself and who you play with and what you do?
No problem. Yeah. So I'm David Henderson. I'm the leading drummer of the Police Scotland and Federation Pipe Band, and also director of D2 Percussion and a British drum company artist.
Perfect. So, I mean, we've been trying to get this on the cards for quite a while, since 2019, and obviously, you know, like everybody knows, we launched in 2019, and then we started trying to get everything moving. COVID hit, and then the whole world just turned around, and now luckily we're back here and eventually getting down to it. It's great to have you here. So the band busy at the moment?
We are, yeah. We're in the middle of the competition season right now. So we've done 3 out of the 5 major championships, and we're about to go into the Scottish Championships, and then the Worlds at the end of the competition season.
Exciting.
So it's all building up now, yeah.
So going back right the way to the start of your career, when you first started, what was your inspiration when you first took up drumming, and how old were you at the time?
So I first started with my dad. My dad taught me at home. He used to play for the Red Hackle pipe band, which was the Grade 1 pipe band back in the day. And he just showed me some of the basics, and it kind of got me interested and made me catch the bug for it. And then I joined the local band, which was the Knightswood Juvenile Pipe Band, when I was 10 years old. And I spent three years there. Last year as leading drummer of the band. And then moved on to Grade 1 when I joined the David Urquhart Travel Pipes and Drums. And then played a year with Clan-Gregor Society, and then Shots and Dykehead with Jim Kilpatrick, who's also a British drum company artist. And Spirit of Scotland after that, again with Jim, and now I'm the lead drummer of the police band. So
wow, what a journey.
A bit of a journey, yeah.
So who was your inspiration throughout that
so
time?
When I was at the Knightswood band, my tutor there was Alistair Hepburn, who also used to play with Jim actually in the Polkemmet pipe band back in the day. So he introduced me to a lot of the kind of Grade 1 material and built my skills up from the kind of the juvenile stages right through. So I looked up to him quite a lot at that band. I would say he's responsible for getting me to the player I was when I was able to move into Grade 1.
Okay.
And obviously he opened the door to a lot of the artists that were in pipe bands at the time, the top names such as Jim Kilpatrick, Eric Ward was another one, Gordon Brown, all the guys you would say would be responsible for, you know, forming the kind of styles that are existing right now. But Jim Kilpatrick was the one person that I really did look up to and always wanted to play in his drum corps and play.
And did you notice a big step going into Grade 1, as in the standard? Did you really have to then start to work at it, or was it not too bad?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely was a jump in terms of technicality to the music. Alistair was quite good at getting me to play different material in the solos, for example. So I would play some of the Grade 1 material he would have shown me in the solos. And then obviously when it came time to move to Grade 1, I had some of the technicalities behind me to enable me to do that. But the biggest thing was the commitment to the band. In Grade 1 is much higher than it would be in a juvenile band. You have to be at practices at least twice a week. And you're talking most weekends throughout the summer season. So that was the big adjustment, was just making sure that you have to commit the right amount of time to make it successful for yourself.
Yeah. So, if for some reason this journey didn't happen, and you didn't go into drumming, what do you think you'd be doing now?
If it wasn't for pipe bands, I think I would probably have looked to become a music teacher in schools. Out of nothing to do with music, I was quite interested in biology when I was at school. I did that right through to the higher level, so maybe something to do with that.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, not a lot of people know that, but
well, that was nicely on to my next question. So, can you let me know something that people don't know about you until now?
Yeah. So, I don't know how well I should be taunting this, but I play the bagpipes a wee bit. When I was at university at the RCS, the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, you have to study 2 instruments.
Okay.
And I chose bagpipes as my second instrument and was tutored by Chris Armstrong, who's the pipe major of Scottish Power Pipe Band. He won't probably like me name dropping him as teaching me right enough. But yeah, so I took that right through for 4 years through the academy. So it was, that's what
well, so you can
not a lot of people
pump out a tune.
Well, I don't know about that. I own a set of bagpipes, let's say.
I mean, one of my questions was, can you play the bagpipes? Obviously now, that's already been answered, so you can. So do you? When was the last time you played?
So obviously my full-time job is teaching in schools to kids in schools for the pipe bands and the school system. And more often than not, I find myself playing the practice chanter along with the kids when they're drumming along, and it gives them an idea of how it's going to sound as a full band, and it all comes together. And I find it helps them with the rhythm and timekeeping with the tune as well, some of the time. So yeah, I do still kind of dabble with more the practice chanter than the full bagpipes right now.
Oh, well, you know, before you know it. So, obviously spent a lot of time in the pipe band world. What one invention would you have liked to have invented within the pipe band world?
So I think possibly the drum harness or carrier, or however you want to call it. I was thinking about this, and that's probably the one thing I would say that every drummer needs and every drummer uses currently. And I think that, you know, the innovation of the current style of drum harnesses nowadays is opened the door up to kids for them to play the pipe band drums, because with the old-fashioned straps, a lot of them would buckle under the pressure, literally. So I think the harness has definitely opened the door for younger kids. I mean, I have some primary 2s and 3s that are able to carry the drum because of the harness.
Because of the harnesses.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the one thing. Just with being involved in the school system, I'm thinking about that angle, and I think that's
and obviously drums have got lighter over the years compared to what they used to be when
yeah, absolutely. With that combined with the fact that they are a bit lighter,
So like you said at the start, director of D2 Percussion.
Yeah.
Have you got any projects happening in the future, or what's going on with D2 at the moment?
Yeah, we do. We're actually in the middle of bringing out a second tutor book. That's nearing completion now, so we're hoping to have that launched pretty soon. So that's going to be a continuation from our first tutor book, which took the learner from basic, beginner level right up to competitive standards, so grade 4, you would say.
Yeah.
And this book's going to be a continuation of that, which hopefully takes the learner up to grade 1 standard and opens the door to a kind of more rounded, accomplished player.
So how did D2 come about? And when did it come about?
So it's myself and my business partner, David Ross, who also plays for the Police Scotland pipe band. We both teach full-time in schools, and it came about through the necessity for kids to have the equipment necessary, obviously, to play the pipe band drums. And we were forever going between different dealers trying to get different equipment, and we thought, how can we make this easier and quicker and maybe make a bit of money off it as well at the same time? So we formed D2 Percussion, and it just meant that we could then supply the people that we needed to, or the instruments that we knew would work for the kids. And that was in 2008 that we
so it's been going a while now.
The band. Yeah, so it's been a fair journey up till now. And nowadays we're involved. It's much bigger now than it was when we first started, and it started with the retail arm. We now have a tuition arm as well, where we provide tuition to lots of different school projects, and also the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland. With the drumming instructors there as well. So we've got quite a few things going on at the moment, so it's exciting times ahead.
So in the schools, do you ever see some like raw talent coming through, or do you ever get people come through, just pick the sticks up and can literally just play straight from the bat? Or
yeah, you kind of get that feeling straight away with some of the kids that you see. I've had one or two that have come through the schools and immediately will pick up sticks, and the way you can tell usually is if they have the grip. Yeah, correct. If you show them and it takes a while, or if they instantly get it, if they get the grip straight away, you're thinking, right, this kid's going to be a player here. Yeah. So we've had a few of them, and that's really rewarding when you see that. You can foresee the journey, if you like, of them progressing through into the player they're going to become, hopefully. So yeah, you get that raw talent now and then. It's like a needle in a haystack sometimes, but yeah.
So obviously you get them from a young age. What's the youngest age you get, and how long do you have them for?
So the youngest I would start drummers off would be primary 2, which is about 6 years old.
That's young.
Yeah, very young. Some of them come with tiny hands. You're thinking, how am I getting a drumstick in there? So yeah, primary 2 would be the youngest I would go, and you can get them right through to 18, which would be S6 when they would leave school. And it's great to see the progression right through. Some of them, a lot of them, stick with it right the way through their school years, and then a few I've actually ended up with myself at the police band as well. So it's always nice when.
I mean, it's amazing that's in the school system. Yeah. Where obviously in England there's nothing like that. Music's becoming very sort of pushed to the back, but there's an actual whole syllabus and everything up there, which is great, which keeps the the history and the tradition going as well. And
definitely, and it's evolving all the time. There's jobs opening up all the time in Scotland for piping tutors and drumming tutors, and there's different organisations that are helping fund these positions as well. So it's not always on the school or the council to find the money. There's help there available, which is great, and it's only going to be better for the art form in the long run.
That's amazing. So what's your favourite part of the job?
I think I think, as I mentioned before, some of the kids coming through and seeing them develop life skills as well as their music skills. You see them developing into young adults, and then some of them progressing on and continuing their pipe band career, through into grade 1 or whatever grade they join when they leave. I think that's the most rewarding part of it, is knowing that you've given somebody, life skills as well as moulding them into a drummer and seeing their progression.
Obviously, you do a bit of travelling with the band.
Yeah.
Where's one of your favourite places you've been?
So I've been fortunate enough to have visited Japan a few times.
Wow. How was that?
Brilliant. Believe it or not, there's a Tokyo Highland Games.
No way.
Yeah, you wouldn't think there was a Highland Games all the way over there. So that was always really cool to go over there and work with the Tokyo Pipe Band, and then see there was about 3 or 4 bands that came together.
Was it quite a big event, or?
It was actually. It used to be sponsored by Royal Bank of Scotland.
Wow.
And Virgin used to sponsor it as well. So it was quite a big deal. And the first class flight with Virgin was
I can imagine.
That was pretty cool as well. But and they're super keen over there as well. They're always keen to learn from you. Yeah, it was a great experience. I was there a good few times, so it was
So
nice.
Japan's your favourite?
I would say so. Yeah, in terms of where I've been to with pipe bands, I think it was pretty cool over there. Just to see that the culture has somehow travelled all the way over there, and seeing Highland Games, which is born in Scotland, appearing in Japan.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now things are moving, like opening up again after COVID. The band's got any plans to travel, or?
Hopefully, yeah. We'll just need to wait and see what comes in. With the new sponsorship that we have now, there is opportunities coming up to maybe go abroad and take the band abroad within the police service and things like that. So we'll see what comes in. But yeah, hopefully in the near future.
That'd be great. Yeah. So what's the best part of the pipe band world in general?
There's many different things, but I think the camaraderie between everyone. I've got friends in most of the top grade 1 bands, and it's obviously competitive when we're on the competition field, but you see them in the beer tent afterwards, and it's like old friends and stuff like that. So I think that the friendships never disappear. They're friends
regardless
for life.
of what band you're in.
Exactly, absolutely. It doesn't matter if you're closest rivals or if you're not that close in terms of the competitive side of things. It doesn't matter. It's all friendship at the end of the day. It's great.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time and speak to yourself when you were 15, what words of advice would you offer? What would you do? Would you say just keep on doing it, or?
Yeah, I think I would tell myself to enjoy the younger years more. I think I was always very keen to want to progress immediately and make grade 1, and that would be I would have made it, but you never get those years back in the younger grades. And now teaching those younger grades, you can see the kids, the experience they get with playing with their peers and playing with their friends and stuff like that. And those years you'll never get back. So I think I'd tell myself to maybe enjoy the younger times a bit more.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So I just want to do some what I call the essential 10, which I'm just going to fire some words off to you, and you just give me which one you think is going to relate to yourself. Cool. Okay. So coffee or Pepsi?
Coffee.
White wine or red wine?
Red wine.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Pineapple on or off pizza?
Off.
Good choice. Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Phone or Android? iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Football or rugby?
Football.
Netflix, Amazon Prime?
Netflix.
And Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Well, thanks for coming on, Davey. It's been great.
It's been great.
Hopefully the viewers will find it interesting. But if people want to know about yourself or the band or D2 Percussion, how can they find out more? Yeah,
so we've got our website for D2 Percussion, which is www.d2percussion.co.uk. The band is on Facebook, Police Scotland and Federation. It's a bit of a mouthful, but you will find it. And also we have our website as well, which is Police Scotland and Federation Pipe Band, and different social media channels through the band as well.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming along.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
That's great. And hopefully we'll see you at the next one. Take care.